Yeah, what you've seen probably relates to. I started a podcast series called The
Yeah.
Academy where I just say exactly what I
Mm.
think, and that's a sort of personal catharsis because I believe from my work, as what I've seen in my work, is that if you don't put out what's in your
Mm.
head, it eats your
Yeah,
brain,
yeah,
right? If you don't say exactly what you think, it bites you. It comes back and bites you in the long term.
yeah,
And so my my life strategy for myself at the moment is to put myself out there and to say exactly everything that I'm experiencing and as much as possible of what I know to be true, or in terms of these presentations, what I can
yeah,
evidence to be true within the framework of we know that there's a lot of false information, misdirection. That's what the intelligence agencies are
yeah,
involved in, and try to navigate through that. And the navigation very much relates to our own experience in life. Um, and I'm preaching to the converted. If you've had a certain kind of experience in life, then that always affects how we approach something. Let me give you like a stupid example. Let's say you've seen a
mm.
ghost, right? Like I've never seen a ghost, but other people say they have, and I gotta trust other people that they've seen stuff,
Mm.
right? Um, because they believe it, and that's fine. So my reality is based on the fact that I haven't seen a ghost. Can't really believe they exist. They've never seen anything weird personally, but um, so that affects my view of life. Now, other people have had kind of these experiences, and so I got to respect the fact that there's a completely different world with a completely different perspective, and sort of navigate in that direction. So I guess what I'm getting at is that this, in terms of solutions, which I think is the underpinning question that you're asking, which is like, okay, where do we go? What do we do next? How do we solve this problem? Which again is what I'm dealing with a lot of my clients. Um, it's society is at this moment experiencing paralysis,
Yeah,
and the question is, how do we get beyond that paralysis? Now, people like you and me have probably had at some point in our lives some kind of triggering experience. Doesn't have to be traumatic, it just has to be something that we've gone through which has caused us to ask questions, and the answers that we've received have not been sufficient, which has caused us to ask more
yeah,
questions because because the answers we're getting doesn't relate to the experience we've had. Yeah, if all we've ever seen is people wear red t-shirts, and somebody says, "Well, I always wear a blue T-shirt." We're like, "Okay, I haven't seen that before. That's a bit weird." And naturally, um, I think human beings are explorative. We're questers. We're inquisitive, and that's how we learn. Some people are interested in learning, and some people just kind of shut down,
mm.
right? that's that's the way it is. And I think we also have to realize that on the journey of learning, it's endless, and it doesn't like the battle between good and bad and truth and fear, and it's endless. It's an eternal struggle, right? So people who choose to ask questions are putting themselves in a position where they have to realize that if you begin to go down that road, you're going to die on the road because it'll last your whole life. And